Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego coming to you live from the Panhandle of Florida. And it's a hot and climby day. It's what, 7 p.m. Central Time. And, all of our live chat streams are done during Central Time, which is 1 hour behind Eastern Time. So if you live in Miami, you're going to be 1 hour ahead. Now, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Karina is in Bogota, Colombia, and I'm here in the Panhandle of Florida, near Pensacola, and north of Navarre Beach. And yesterday we had a bad storm blow through here, and in fact, it did some serious damage to the folks in Pensacola. We had a young person was killed when a tree fell on him, unfortunately. So we had not such a good day yesterday for the folks in Pensacola. But we're waiting for our welcome letter from the National Visa Center. And a lot of you guys are out there waiting for your NOA2 letter, or you're waiting for your service, for your welcome letter, or you're waiting for something in the immigration process. And this is the place to be for all your answers. So you're going to give me all your questions, and I'm going to give you all the answers, and to help you get through this process so much easier. This is my second K1 visa I've got approved. My first K1 visa didn't work out. Okay, so she went back home, and no problem. And now I'm on my second one. Now let's see. We got Richard Italiano. Nice to see you, Richard. Tejaswini Mumadi. Hi, Diego. Hi, Tejaswini. Richard, I'm doing great, Richard. Thank you. How is you? How are you and your family? And Francois Livingstone said hi, and then he just deleted the message. But we're good, Francois. And Tresor Sala waiting for the RFE response received by June 8th. Okay, Tresor, no problem. Don't worry about it. A lot of folks, they get worried about getting an RFE. Okay. And all an RFE means is that immigration has taken your package off the shelf. They opened it up, they're looking at it, and they found something that you missed. You forgot to include this. You may not have included photos. You may have forgotten the letter of intent to get married. You got to have two of those, by the way. There's something that you missed. So don't panic if you get an RFE. Okay. And Francois just stepped in. Francois Livingstone. Hello again. I misspelled Karina's name, and that's why I took it out. No problem. You're good, Francois. No problem. So if you get an RFE, okay, don't panic. And, a lot of folks, they're checking their status every day on their phone. They got their cell phone checking their status. And then something pops up like RFE on the way, or waiting for send RFE. Well, if you didn't keep checking your status, you wouldn't know there was an RFE coming to your house, right? And if you don't know it's coming to your house, you're not going to have a heart attack for the next week waiting for it to get to your house. It's just going to show up. So if you quit checking the status, okay, don't do that. An RFE comes to your house, okay, you open it up, and then you respond to it, and then you file the information back to USCIS, and then your visa gets approved. Okay, unless you cannot provide the information. Tina, hi Diego. Hey Tina, how are you? Tejaswini Mamadi, why does it take 3 months for MVC to send us a welcome letter? Because they're busy. Okay, COVID is over. So COVID is no longer a viable excuse, but they're busy. Just there are people filing thousands. USCIS is approving thousands upon thousands upon thousands of K1 visas. Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot of visas. So they put them on the shelf after they've approved it. They send you the NOA2 letter. The Notice of Action 2 letter comes to your house. You're all excited. Hey, I got my approval. Okay. Now you just got to wait for them to send it to the National Visa Center. Just wait it out. It's, you cannot control how fast USCIS mail your approved visa to the National Visa Center. And the National Visa Center is in New Hampshire. You can't control it. If you can't control it, don't worry about it. You just have to wait out the time. I got the the NOA2 letter May 30th. Okay, May 30th. It's June 17th. And I have not once checked the status. And Tressa Sala, high five, super chat. Thank you, Tressa. You guys, I tell you what, Tressa, I appreciate, Karina and I appreciate you very much. Because, we're giving you an opportunity to come on this channel. This is your YouTube channel, guys. This is for you guys to help you get through the process. And the advice I give you, I've already been through it before. I've been there, done that. K1 and CR1 spousal visa, I've been through it in the past. And I know how immigration works. I know how they think. And I know the process. And I know why it's taken so long to do stuff. They have to thoroughly investigate every package that they receive, okay? It's just USCIS is Homeland Security, okay? There's no difference between USCIS is Homeland Security. And Homeland Security, what is their job? What's the job? To protect the borders and the frontiers of the United States. So when you send in a visa request, they're going to investigate it. So some visas take longer to investigate than others, okay? So be patient, guys. Let's see here. Tina, I had a question about the work permit. Let's see. Kaiser H. Hi, Diego. When does the residency time start for my fiance? Is it from the date she arrives in the U.S. or when she gets her 2-year conditional green card? Okay, well, the residency time starts on the date on the green card, okay? You're going to look on the 2-year conditional green card, and there's going to be an issue date on there. The issue date is when the clock starts for residency status, okay? That's when it starts. Tina, question from Tina. When my fiance arrives in the United States, can he apply for an EAD while doing adjustment of status? Okay, all in one package. Yes. When you apply for the adjustment of status, Tina, for your green card, for the 2-year green card, you include a request called an application for employment authorization, and it's shortened to EAD. You can also apply for a application for travel document advance parole, and you have to pay for both of these requests, okay? So when you adjust the status to green card for your 2-year green card, you include in there a request for a work permit, and you can, if you want, include in there a request for a travel document. So that way you can work before you get your green card, and you can travel if you haven't yet received your green card. Now, my advice is that costs a lot of money. Adjusting status costs a lot of money. The green card ain't cheap. And then you got to pay for the EAD work permit, and then you got to pay for the advance parole document. And it can start to rack up a lot of dollars. My advice, guys, is come to the United States, adjust your status, file the paperwork, but don't waste your money on a work permit and an advance parole document. Don't waste your money on it. Okay, you get your EAD card in the mail, and then what, a week later, a month later, 2 months later, you get your green card. So you spent all that money on an EAD document to work before your green card because you're impatient, and you get your EAD work permit, and then right after that, you get your green card. You can work on your green card. So don't waste the money. An advance parole document costs a lot of money. Why would you want to leave the United States as soon as you get here on your K1 visa? You waited 1 year, 2 years, 1.5 years to come to America. And then the first thing you want to do when you get here is go back to your home country on a vacation or whatever reason. Now, it could be that you get married in the United States and you want to go back and visit your family. But I understand that, and it's a normal human reaction. But why not just get to America, okay? Get married, wait for your green card, and then plan your travels then. Just my opinion. You guys, I'm here to help you through this, okay? And it's just my opinion. So Tina, yeah, when your fiance gets in America, boom, you file for the adjustment of status, you file for the work permit, EAD card, and you file for the advance parole, all in the same paperwork. You put it all in the same package, okay? Tina, that's just in case the green card takes a while. Is there still a work permit? Yeah. If the green, you can apply for the EAD is the work permit, and you can pay for it and apply for it, and take. It's up to you. Jason Mabry, hey Diego, my fiance called the police department in our country, Ghana. Okay, I believe isn't that Accra is the where the embassy is, to inquire about her police certificate, and was told it's only good for 6 months. Do they know something we don't? Okay, Jason. The U.S. State Department put out a directive that police certificates are good for 2 years. Okay, they don't care what the government of Ghana says. They don't care what the government of Colombia says, or India or Nigeria. Well, they care, but you got to understand the State Department's running the show. If the State Department says the police certificate is good for 2 years, guess what? It's good for 2 years from the issue date. Did you know that people from Venezuela, the beautiful citizens from Venezuela, can travel to the United States with a K-1 visa and an expired Venezuelan passport? Did you know that? Yeah. The United States government and the Venezuelan government don't get along. We don't have any relations with the communist dictator there. So the State Department has authorized with the Venezuelan government, they recognize that a Venezuelan passport is good for 5 years from the expiration date. So if you're watching us from Venezuela or from around the world and you're Venezuelan and you have an expired passport, don't worry about it. Just add 5 years to the expiration date, and that's the new expiration date. Same with the police certificate. It's good for 2 years. When the State Department says it's good for 2 years, then the U.S. government says it's good for 2 years. So, Jason, I hope that answered your question. Antonio, hey, Diego, my fiance signed the letter of intent with her phone electronically and sent it back to me and printed it out. Will that be a problem? It's not. I don't recommend you sign anything with a phone electronically because the signature is worthless, okay, except for the DS-160. There is only one form that you can sign electronically that is accepted by immigration, and that is the DS-160 or the DS-260. That's it. So, Antonio, what your fiance needs to do is to sign the letter of intent to get married in black ink and mail it to you. How hard is that? You got to send it. DHL is probably the fastest way. Will it be a problem? I don't know. It's up to the immigration officer. If the immigration officer is a jerk, well, oh no, I shouldn't say that, is very strict, he or she may not accept it. So get it signed in black ink. Okay, Antonio? Get it resent. Brett Hemmer, can you travel on a conditional green card? Absolutely, you can travel on a conditional green card. Do I recommend it? No. I don't recommend it. I recommend traveling on a 10-year green card, okay? But you can travel on a conditional green card. Tressa Sala, again, thank you, Tressa, for that super chat. I appreciate it. So does Karina and I appreciate you. Tressa Sala, how long does it take the RFE response back when you receive the evidence? It takes 2 to 3 weeks. I had an RFE on the first when I filed my first K-1 visa in 2016. I got an RFE. Now I wasn't checking my phone for status. I showed up in the mail. I opened up the letter and I didn't explain which website I met her on. Blah blah blah. So if you meet somebody online, okay, you got to include in your letter of intent to get married, let's say, for example, where you met your person online, the name of the website. And then you need to print the terms of service, okay, from that website, from that dating website, so that immigration knows that it's not an IMBRA, okay? So it's not a marriage broker, okay? So those are very important. If you meet somebody online, you got to identify that website when you file your K-1 visa, and you must print the terms of service for that dating website, and you must highlight the area where it says this is not a IMBRA or a marriage broker. For example, I don't know what's popular, Filipino Cupid. Now, I'm not picking on the Philippines. I love everybody in the Philippines. But if you met your fiance on Filipino Cupid, I strongly recommend You print the terms of service from Filipino Cupid, and then you highlight in the terms of service that it's not a marriage broker, and you include that in your visa package, and you won't get an RFE on that particular part. Francois Livingstone, as you know, I got an RFE, and I've been on edge about it all day. Can't figure out what it could be. I thought did everything to the fee, but guess not. By the way, Francois is a girl's name. Okay, Francois. By your name is perfect. Okay, but you got to quit worrying about the RFE. Okay, when you get it, respond to it, whatever it is. I'm pretty sure, in my mind, that you will have the information they're requesting. You may have forgotten something in the package. Okay, now you guys met each other face to face, right? Within 2 years, didn't you meet each other face to face within 2 years before you mailed your package? The number one reason for an RFE is because the person, the beneficiary, and the sponsor haven't met each other. They figured they could get around that. You can't get around it. And immigration will give you the benefit of the doubt. They'll send you an RFE. Where is the evidence you guys met each other? Okay, then you got to prove it. Now, I'm not saying that's the reason for you, okay, Francois, but whatever it is, it's probably something very minor and very simple, and you're going to handle it. Kaiser H, there you go. How long does it take for MVC to transfer the case file to the U.S. Embassy of my beneficiary's home country once they have given me the case number? It takes between 2 to 4 weeks, Kaiser H, 2 to 4 weeks. And let's say, for example, for Karina, when I get the welcome letter from the National Visa Center, probably the first or second week of September or the third week of September, right in there, they will then I got to wait 3 weeks, probably 2 to 3 weeks, and then they'll ship it to the embassy. Sometimes it's quicker than that. It depends on how busy they are, okay? Tina, got it. Diego, thank you. Additional expenses for the EA. There is an additional expense for the work permit, and there is an additional expense for the advanced parole document. It's expensive. To me, it's a waste of money. To me, when Karina she's an entrepreneur, capitalist, superstar, hard worker, and she's just itching to get to work when she gets to the United States. She wants to work and start a business. She's a capitalist. I love her to death. But we're going to wait for her green card to get here. We're not going to spend money on a work permit and an advanced parole document. That money's staying in the bank, okay? We're going to file for the green card and wait for the green card. And then she's going to kick it and start doing her thing. Joe Atalia, hello, Diego, from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. Joe, Ohio, wow, up north there, way up there. Nice to hear from you, Joe. Jason, thank you. Yes, Accra, Ghana. Yeah, Accra, Ghana. I figured it was. I pretty much have learned where the embassies are around the world. Zoila Molina. Hey, Diego, waiting for my welcome letter. Zoila, we are too. We're waiting too. Waiting and waiting for our welcome letter. It's a process, isn't it? Joe Atala, can you please tell what is the reason for people failing the medical exam or there is no pass and fail? Okay, reasons for failing the medical exam would be if you have a serious communicable disease, a sexually transmitted disease, okay? If you have something that's a really horrendous, check it out. If you could get banned from coming to the USA. That would be one example. And yeah, and the medical doctor will try to fix the problem if there's a way to fix it, so the doctor doesn't block you from coming to America. The immigration's not trying to block you, beneficiaries. Our wonderful beneficiaries watching us around the world. Immigration wants you to come here and start your lives together, okay? They're not trying to stop you, but you got to meet some certain requirements, okay? And that would be, you cannot have any serious illnesses, serious major diseases that's communicable. Now, something, if you have a medical injury like a broken arm, but let's say for psychological problems. What if you got mental problems, okay? The doctor finds out you got some kind of psychological problem. They're going to put you into a treatment center for, maybe a month or two. I'm not a doctor, by the way. This isn't medical advice, just from what I've learned from experience with watching other people go through this. They'll try to fix the problem, okay? before they deny the visa. If you have a positive TB result come in, if you get positive for tuberculosis, it shows up in the chest X-ray. The doctor will probably put you in treatment for however long it takes to treat tuberculosis, and then retest your blood or your sputum. Now do a sputum test and see if the tuberculosis has stopped. That could be another reason right there. Don't worry, you're going to be fine, guys. Lamin Jabang, hello. My fiance applied the K1 visa in June 2022, June 6, 2022. In this time, it is almost 1 year. What month? June of 2022. So this month, okay, or next month at the latest. It depends on what they have to look at in your visa package, okay? Karen Bono. Hi, Diego. Hey, Karen. We are December 2022 file, okay? December 2023, you should be hearing this Christmas or before. Jason, will the new speed up process time effective that filed in December 2022? It depends on how many people filed for visas, okay? The visa processing time depends on how many people are employed at USCIS, how many folks do they have working, and how many visas have been filed. And USCIS are receiving thousands of visas a day at the lockbox, okay? But things are definitely getting faster. By October, November of 2023, should be a 6 to 8 month turnaround. People that filed before that, probably a 12-month turnaround. Denise Jefferson. Hey, Denise. Hello, Diego. I listened to your list for Karina's adjustment of status. Can we assume that most of the list are ideas and recommendations? It's recommendations. It's recommendations. However, whatever you put in your adjustment of status paperwork is up to you. But do you want to go in front of another immigration officer and, face another immigration officer? Do you want to do that? Or do you want to get your green card mailed to you without going through another visa interview? If you put together a strong adjustment of status paperwork, put a fantastic visa package together, for a green card package, there's a good chance you won't have another face-to-face. And Denise says, I doubt that we will be able to afford a honeymoon. Denise, if you can't afford a honeymoon, if you can't go somewhere on honeymoon, go spend a weekend somewhere, spend a weekend in a hotel, 30 miles from your town, and that could be your honeymoon. And then use the photos from that and the receipts from that. Okay, you don't have to have a honeymoon to get your green card, but I recommend it's recommendations. Okay, just recommendations to make your visa package, your green card package stronger. Nick Palermo. Good evening, Mr. Diego. Good evening, Nick. Antonio, I'm going to visit her next month. I will have her sign it with black ink. Good, Antonio. If they ask for RFE, because it will have it ready. Yeah. Here's what you need to do, Antonio. I would also prepare the second letter of intent to get married too, and have in her language. If she can't speak English, it's got to be in her language, and have her sign that. Just don't date it. Okay, date it and then just leave it without a date on it. So you have the second letter ready too. So if you get an RFE on that, then you're ready, you're prepared. Good idea. Good thinking. Now you're thinking like an immigration officer. Nick Palermo, does it matter which city we put when submitting the DS-160? How do you mean which city? Nick, I don't understand the question. When you fill out the DS-160, you're going to put the city where your beneficiary is going to put the city where she lives in the address. Christian Florian, Diego, waiting for my welcome letter. I received my NOA2 May 18th. Okay, good job. Be patient. Okay, just be patient. Jason Mabry, I printed out our WhatsApp chat. Good. It's about 3,000 pages. I plan on just taking a few from each month. That's perfect. Yeah, don't send 3,000 pages, okay? Just send, maybe 2 or 3 from each month. So in 12 months, that's what, 40? Let's send about 40 spread out, over each month. And then separate each month so that immigration can see which month that you were chatting, and they can see that it was spread out over a certain amount of time. Kaiser H. Diego, is it advisable to get the Social Security number before the adjustment of status? Or should you cannot get your Social Security number, Kaiser H, before the adjustment of status. Here's what you need to do. File the adjustment of status, and there's a block in there that says, do you want the immigration office to forward your paperwork to the Social Security office for your Social Security number? Check yes. And then you file your adjustment of status, and then you wait for the green card and you wait for the Social Security number. But you can't get a Social Security number without a green card and legal status in the United States. You got to have legal status. Okay? You got to have legal status in the United States. Then you get a Social Security number. Denise Jefferson, Diego, that feels contradictory to what you mentioned in the last live about HIV and medical. HIV in medical is not cannot block you from coming to the United States. A sexually transmitted disease can. Okay? HIV, according to the civil surgeon and the U.S. State Department, HIV cannot be used to block a beneficiary or from blocking an immigration benefit. It would be considered discriminatory. Okay, so HIV will not block you from coming to the United States, but a sexually transmitted disease that is highly contagious could and can and has. Okay, that's not contradictory. It's what the State Department. It's the rules of the State Department. It's not Diego's rules. Okay, this is coming out of the U.S. government. And I'm just passing along the information to you guys, okay? Nick Palomo, you have mentioned that you might need a chest x-ray for the medical exam. How do I know if my beneficiary needs one? Do they do that at the exam? Yeah, it gets done at the medical exam, okay? And then you carry it in your hand to the United States. If the Border Patrol officer takes it from you, it's gone. If the Border Patrol doesn't take it from you, then you have a chest x-ray that you can pin up on your living room wall as a souvenir. Let me see here. Francois, after listening to you in regards to Antonio's issue, my fiance sent me his letter of intent via email, and that could be the reason for the RFE. It could be. He's from Morocco, but working in the UAE. Got to have an original letter of intent to get married signed with black ink. Black ink on a letter of intent to get married. It's a legal document. And in the letter of intent to get married, you are promising in writing, excuse me, guys, USCIS, that you are a U.S. citizen and your beneficiary is a citizen. Let's say Karina is from Venezuela. So Karina's letter of intent to get married said, my name is Karina. I'm a Venezuelan citizen. I'm legally free and able to get married. I'm single. And I promised to marry Diego within 90 days of entering America. And then she explained why. What is it that, she loves about Diego? And I did the same thing for her. I'm Diego. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm divorced. I am legally free and able to marry Karina. And I promised immigration I will do so within 90 days. And I signed it in black ink. Legal document. The cornerstone of your immigration package. Because there's so much... immigration sees such a lot of immigration fraud, okay? They're making you, Mr. Beneficiary, Mr. Sponsor, put in writing in a legal document that you guys are going to get married, okay? They're making you put in writing. And then they can use that letter as evidence against you if you don't get married, okay? It's all legal mumbo jumbo. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't work for USCIS. I don't give you legal advice. I'm passing on to you guys information. I'm not a doctor. Brett Hammer, when going for a marriage license, how does the beneficiary show proof of ID? Passport with the K1 visa, okay? An international passport is it has to be a photo ID, Brett. A birth certificate won't work. It has to be the passport, okay? When I went downtown here in Santa Rosa County, I asked the same question, and the lady said, her passport, Karina's passport. Brett Hammer, the court I live in requires 2 forms of ID. Not sure if that is an American ID specific. Doesn't have to be an American ID, okay? It has to be a picture ID. And if you only have, Karina's got 3 picture IDs. She's got her Venezuelan passport, she's got her Venezuelan cedula, and she's got her Colombian cedula. So she, right there, maybe your beneficiary can get a picture ID from the country she lives in, like a state ID, a country ID of some kind. Jason Mabry, can you explain the difference in adjustment of status and the green card process? The adjustment of status is basically you are writing a letter with evidence to immigration requesting a green card. And in that adjustment of status, the adjustment of status is please, can I have a green card so I can live and work in the United States? Please, can I do that? That's all it is. Okay. Adjustment of status is a mother may I live in America letter with evidence. And the evidence would be the NOA2 letter, the I-94 proving that you entered the United States legally, a copy of your beneficiary's passport, the sponsor's passport showing that he or she is a U.S. citizen, evidence of being in a relationship, the wedding pictures, the honeymoon pictures. If you want to do a honeymoon, you don't have to have a honeymoon. Things like that. Okay. So the adjustment of status is basically, is in simple man's terms, simple woman's terms, is I want a green card. And that's all it is, guys. Let me see. Francois, do you know how Jason printed the conversation with WhatsApp? There's a way to do it, and I would not be able to explain it here. Okay, but get into your WhatsApp and fiddle around in there, or Google WhatsApp print chats. It will explain it to you. Okay. LK, hi Diego. Can you tell about the new immigration fees? I'm not going to put that information out till I know for sure how much it is, because I checked I go into the immigration fee calculator, and nothing's changed for K1 visas. It's still $535. So I'm not going to put anything out until I know for sure that it's changed. Antonio, even if the STT is curable, if an STD is curable, the civil surgeon will put the beneficiary in a program of treatment. Once the treatment is done, if it's cured, then the visa gets approved. Let me see. Just Lenny. Hello, Diego. How long it takes from the moment we receive our case number MVC to the interview? Well, once you get your case number, then you got to wait 3 or 4 weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks for the MVC to mail the embassy the K1 visa package. Then you get the ready status from the embassy. Once your K1 visa package arrives at the embassy, the MVC washes its hands of your K1 visa package. USCIS has already washed its hands of your K1 visa package. Okay, when your K1 visa package leaves USCIS and goes to the MVC, USCIS is done. They have no more further communication with you regarding your visa. The MVC is in charge of it. When the MVC in New Hampshire mail your visa to the embassy, they're done. Now the embassy is in charge of it. And then you just got to wait for the embassy interview. Or in some cases, they'll schedule it for you at the MVC. But more than likely, you have to go ahead and schedule the interview. It depends on the embassy and the country and the workload and the staffing levels. Antonio, you got me stressing now about the letter of intent to marry. Don't stress it. If you messed it up, fix it. Or the only thing an RFE is going to do is slow down your case by 2 or 3 weeks. So if you messed up, if you made a mistake, your visa is not going to get blocked. It's not going to be denied unless you don't provide the information. If you don't provide the information they ask for, I don't know. Did you see the movie, the first Star Trek movie? Did you see that first Star Trek movie? Vija, I need the information. Vija. It's the same thing. Provide the information, get your visa approved. Okay. If you send in a non-legal letter of intent to get married, they're going to tell you, send a new one. That's legal. Signed in black. So don't stress nothing in this visa process, okay? The only time you need to stress this visa process is if you don't qualify for the benefit. Remember, this is a benefit. It's not a right. You know, I see people in Facebook, dude, I'm going to sue USCIS. I'm going to sue immigration because of this, this, and this. Why? Why are you going to sue immigration? They're trying to help you. They want to help you come to America following congressional law. Okay, so their hands are tied like this. They're under the jurisdiction of the US Congress. Denise Jefferson, high five, super chat. Thank you, Denise. Thank you so much. You guys, I tell you what, you are the generous, nicest people. And Karina, and I appreciate you, Denise, okay? And I'm glad this information is helping you, okay? I'm going to get you through this without any stress. This should be an enjoyable, relaxing process. Getting a K-1 visa should be a fantastic thing, not a horrible thing. And if you don't qualify for the benefit, don't submit the package till you qualify. If you haven't met each other face to face, meet each other face to face. If your income level is not quite there, get a joint sponsor, okay? Or get a second job, okay? Do something to qualify you before you mail the package. When you mail the qualified benefit K-1 visa package to the Dallas lockbox, you'll get your visa. Denise Jefferson, thank you for the clarification. I'm half of a century in just learning that HIV is not considered an STD. No, it's not. Your lives are the live streams are so informative. You have to find a way to make a living here. Nah, I do this for free, Denise. And thank you for that super chat. I tell you what, I'm going to take Karina to eat. Okay. And there is a Dunkin' Donuts in Bogota, Colombia. She just loves the Dunkin' Donuts. We got at least 3 trips to Dunkin' Donuts on Denise in Bogota. And HIV is not an STD. HIV is not considered as a medical condition that will block a K-1 visa. In fact, the Congress and the immigration wrote specific legislation stating that it cannot be used to block a visa. Okay, but if you've got a raging case of gonorrhea, okay, that's different. Then the doctor has an option to either block you or cure you or treat you. And 99% of the time, the doctor's going to treat you so he doesn't deny your visa. Immigration doesn't want to stop you from coming to America. We want you to come here. We want you here. You know, you guys are the future of our country, and just learn about our history. Learn about being an American. Become an American citizen. Antonio, I guess an RFE is better than denied. An RFE is not being denied, okay? An RFE is, you forgot this, please and get it so we can approve your visa. That's it. Jason Mabry says, Francois, choose export chat on WhatsApp and email it to yourself in print. Jason, there you go. Good job, Jason. And Kaiser, Susie Galdames. Hello, Diego. Hey, Susie, how are you? How is your family? I hope your family's doing well. Kaiser X, Diego, what are some of the items that my beneficiary will have to provide at the U.S. Embassy at her home country that would prove our continuous relationship? Very easy. A photo album of you guys together for the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatever long. A photo album. Print some of your chats, 2 or 3 chats from each month, from WhatsApp or Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, or wherever. And now Gomez, hold on a second. Gomez is sad because I still didn't have an answer from my NOA2. What will happen? Okay, Gomez Nagley, you're going to have to be patient, Gomez. Please be patient. You're going to get your NOA2 letter, or you're going to get an RFE. Immigration hasn't forgotten about you. They haven't forgotten about everybody in here with a visa package with an NOA1 letter or an NOA2. They haven't forgotten about you. Just be patient. Jason Mabry, I got my bank letter from my bank and was told they can't stamp or sign it, although my bank statement was stamped. Is that good enough? That's good. No problem, Jason. No problem. Susie Gomez, that's what I got for the RFE because I didn't include the letter of intent to get married. Susie. And I wrote it and sent it back to them and got approved. There you go. So Susie got a RFE and immigration said, Susie, where's your letter of intent to get married? It's not in there. Where is it? Where's it at? Susie got it, sent it to immigration. Oops, it was an accident. I forgot to include it. Boom. Boom, she got her visa approved. Okay? Did immigration block her this visa? No. But they got to follow the law. Okay? USCIS are not some jerks out there trying to block you, looking for any way they can stop you. They're looking for ways to help you. You know, that's why I get so irritated with those people in Facebook that there's a lot of people on Facebook just bashing on immigration. You know, one lady said, I'm going to sue immigration because of this and because of that. And she didn't qualify for the benefit. I'm like, serious? Come on, guys. Let's see. Antonio, did you sign it in black ink or she signed it in black? Antonio, Susie signed that letter of intent in black ink. She watched this channel. She's been on this channel for a long time. She knows how to do this. James McLean, in 2014, I applied for a K-1 visa, okay? In 2016, I did too. Long story short, the relationship ended prior to the NOA-2. Okay, no problem. I walked away from that application without ever officially closing or withdrawing it. Will that be a problem? No. Did you get an NOA-1 letter, James McLean? James, when you filed for that K-1 visa in 2014, did you get an NOA-1 letter? You did, right? Do you have it still? Okay, when I filed for my K-1 visa in 2016, I got an NOA-1 letter, I got an NOA-2 letter, etc. When I filed for my second K-1 visa with beautiful Karina, my prometida, my wife-to-be for eternity, I included the NOA-1 and the NOA-2 letter from my first K-1 visa, okay, and I wrote a letter of explanation. Dear USCIS, in 2016, I had received an approved K-1 visa with this person. This person went back to her home country. I included the boarding passes where I took her home. I included the NOA-1 and NOA-2 letter where it has the receipt number on there from the first K-1 visa. I wrote, please ensure that this visa has been washed out. Here's my divorce decree. Here's what happened. Here's an explanation. It didn't work out. Okay, life happens. Okay, all you have to do if you're on your second K-1 visa is explain what happened. Explain it. If you have evidence and a strong explanation, it's no big deal. Immigration will go into your file, okay, and you will become what's known as a multiple filer. So when you get your second NOA-2 letter, look for a little blurb in there that says you have been put into a database as a multiple filer, which means you can't file for 3 K-1 visas without getting permission from Homeland Security. But you can get 2 K-1 visas. Immigration will look into it for you, and if that visa is still out there hanging around, they will terminate it. Boom. But you know, you didn't get married. You didn't complete it. You're good. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Let me see. So James, don't worry. You're good. And what you could get an RFE. You know, where's the NOA-1 letter? I need a letter of explanation. What happened? And then get a letter of explanation written up today or tomorrow. Get it ready. Okay, just in case you get an RFE for a letter of explanation. That's it. Susie Goldemans, I'm doing good and my family is great. Thanks for asking. How's Karina? Karina's great. She is patiently waiting in Bogota, Colombia for the for me to tell her I got the welcome letter. And then when I get the welcome letter, I'm going to go ahead and wait around a little bit longer here in beautiful Florida so that we can start getting the visa interview scheduled and all that kind of jazz. Subjected. What if chat history is weak due to the fact that we have lived together most of the last year? Okay, then you write a letter you write a letter of explanation. Okay, I lived with Karina for 10 months in Bogota, Colombia in 2022. What was the implications of that? My income went down. There was no chat history. I'm face to face with Karina every day for almost a year. But what evidence did I have of living in Bogota, Colombia? I kept the receipts when we went to the supermarket. We went on trips together. We went to visit Central. We went on vacations together. We went to Central Colombia. We went to Southern Colombia. We went to Western Colombia. I kept all the receipts. I don't have a chat history because I was with her, but I kept all the evidence, okay, of being in Colombia. Same for you. Just keep the evidence of you guys being together. My name was put on every single rent receipt in Bogota, Colombia. Every single rent receipt. My name was on it. I paid the rent. Well, Karina paid the rent. I just put my name on the document. I have evidence I was there. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. Jason, when I filed the I-129F, I did write we met on Facebook. Okay, good, no problem. But can't remember if I put the group name. Will that be a reason for an RFE? No. You told immigration you met her on Facebook. Boom, that's good enough. Now, when she fills out the DS-160, that's when they're going to ask for the profile name of the Facebook account. So you're good. Denise, I initially met my fiance online on July 22nd, okay, and officially December 22nd, we filed for the visa in January 2023. Great. I just got back this week from meeting his family. Yeah, I remember, Denise, you told the group that you were going on vacation to see him. And I hope you had a great time. And I hope you kept all of your evidences, your boarding passes, photos together, photos with family, friends, receipts, dinner dates, all that kind of stuff. You're going to need that. Denise Jefferson, we will get another opportunity to show a bona fide relationship, or are we at risk for an RFE? No, you're good, Denise, you're fine. Bring all that stuff to the embassy interview from your last trip, and then include that when you adjust the status for the green card. That just adds to the fact that you guys are in a strong relationship. You guys want to marry each other. You're good, Denise. Nick Palomo, does changing your name after the marriage cause any confusion with the adjustment of status? No, Nick. When Karina gets to America, when we get married, she wants to change her name to my name. So what does that mean? Her name will no longer be Karina X, it will be Karina Y. Okay? She'd become Karina Ross. And guess what? Karina Ross will have her name, Karina Ross, on her green card, on all of her utility bills, on the car title, on her military spouse ID. She's going to get a military spouse ID. It's going to say Karina Ross on there. Everything's going to be her last name married to me. Okay? Then when she goes to apply for U.S. citizenship, she has my last name. There's no confusion. Okay? Do you have to change your last name, Miss Beneficiary? No. You don't have to change your last name. You can stay your maiden name if you want to. But Karina wants to take my name. And I give it to her with great gladness. So no, changing the name's not a problem. It's a good thing. Susie Galdames, my fiance is from Nigeria and signed the letter too, and he has sent it to me by email, and I printed it. Okay, well, sending it by email is fine, but it really needs to be original letter, Susie. He should have mailed it to you. It's like through DHL, FedEx. I don't know if you have FedEx in Nigeria. They have FedEx in Bogota, Colombia. I've used FedEx before. I don't know. I would get the original one, where he signed it in black ink, okay? And Danny's in the house. Hey, Danny. Hello, Diego. My NOA1 is May 31st. Hoping I get approved. Yeah, you're going to be good. You'll be approved. You're qualified for the benefit, right, Danny? You qualified? Okay. Yes. Okay. You just got to wait it out. Bud Garcia. Hello, Diego from Washington. If my fiance wants to change her first thing, will she be able to do that? Will she be able to change her first thing? What is her first thing, Bud? What does she want to change? You mean her first name? First thing? I don't understand the question, Bud. Rewrite that to me again. Kaiser H. Diego, will my beneficiary have to schedule her K1 visa interview at the U.S. Embassy by herself, or will the embassy do it for her? No, 99% of beneficiaries have to schedule their visa interviews at the embassy. Kaiser H, you can help her do it. You can do it from a computer at your house in the United States just as easily as she can do it from her house in her home country. You can schedule her visa interview. I'm going to schedule Karina's for her from here, from the office right here, from this computer. First name, Bud Garcia. Your fiance, your new wife will not have to change her first name. She keeps her first name, but she can keep her first name. She can change her last name to your name if she wants to. She'll become Mrs. Garcia. Okay, Senora Garcia. It's no problem to do that. Karina will be Senora Ross. Okay, Diego Ross's wife, and and she's going to take my last name. And I'm going to get her a credit card with her last name, my name on it. Karina Ross. Yeah, here. Everything's going to be with my last name on it, and including when she becomes a citizen. Okay. Jason Mabry, we took your advice and we'll be enjoying our honeymoon in Florida. There you go, Florida. Good job. Excellent. You guys are going to have a blast in Florida. Now, yesterday was a big bad storm, so try to schedule your honeymoon when there's check the weather forecast and check it out. Look forward about 2 weeks to make sure there's no bad storms coming through here. You don't want to come down here on vacation and get stuck because of a hurricane or some crazy storm, okay? Bud Garcia, thank you. No problem, Bud. You're good. And, you guys like Denise has learned new things today. Bud learned some new things today. So when you come on the live stream, you're going to learn a little bit more each time. That's why I do it 3 times a week. I do the live stream 3 times a week because at different times, because the whole world is on a different time zone. There's people in the Philippines just waking up. There's people in Australia, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Colombia, Venezuela. Yes, some people from Venezuela are able to watch the live stream. And I'm really surprised about that. I know that the Maduro government, just like other communist countries, they try to block their citizens from getting information. So I'm glad that there are folks in Venezuela that can see the live stream, Antonio, my fiance has a 4-year-old daughter. Okay, great. Who we included on the application. You have to, by law. Will the visa process be harder or the same? Okay, immigration doesn't discriminate against kids. Okay, your fiance has a 4-year-old. Fantastic. Your future stepdaughter will be considered as a K2 derivative, which means that she has to be included on the I-129F. Whether she's coming to America or not, she has to be on the I-129F as required by immigration and congressional law. And the 4-year-old, lovely, your beautiful soon-to-be stepdaughter will have to go to the visa interview with your beneficiary, with your fiance, okay? And your 4-year-old stepdaughter has to have a passport, unexpired passport. She will have to have a DS-160 filled out for her. You can do it. Help her with that. Then you're gonna have to print the confirmation page for the visa interview and for the DS-160 for the 4-year-old. Okay, don't forget the 4-year-old is treated like an adult in regards to paperwork. Okay, the paperwork is exactly the same whether you have a 2-week-old or an 18-year-old. Okay, and yeah, it's not going to slow down your visa process. It's not going to be a problem. It's going to be great. And that 4-year-old little girl has an opportunity of a lifetime to come start over her life in America. What an opportunity for that little girl. Okay. Kaiser H. Diego, how long does it take to set up a K1 visa interview at the U.S. consulate in Mumbai? 2 to 4 months is what I'm seeing, Kaiser. You just got to keep going back every day, trying and trying and trying. Don't try, do. And one day, boom, you're going to get it. Tess and Rocco, hello, and Diego, and lovely Karina, happy Father's Day. Thank you. You still waiting to approve the packet? Been waiting since July 2022. Hopefully we hear soon. Okay. Tess and Rocco, July 7th, 2022. So next month, the middle of the month, right in the middle of the month of July, you should be hearing from USCIS, okay? Andrew Bryan, you are doing a very great job, Mr. Diego. Keep it up. Andrew Bryan, thank you. I'm here for you guys, okay? I'm going to pull you over the finish line. I'm going to get you through this with a big smile on your face. You know, this is the positive channel. This is the place to come to get the answers to your questions, to de-stress you, and to help you understand this process so you can go to bed at night and go to sleep and be happy and content knowing you're going to get your visa. And I'm trying to get you guys to stop checking your phone for status and to stop calling immigration for status, okay? Don't do that. Just file the paperwork and then get in the boat and go downstream and wait your turn in as immigration gets to you, okay? Jason Mabry, last time we applied for my fiance's B2 travel visa, and the wait time for the interview was almost a year. Will this be the case for the K1 interview? No. Jason, the K1 visa interview is not a B2 tourist visa. Karina, if Karina was to apply for a tourist visa at the embassy in Bogota, she'd fill out the DS-160, she'd pay the visa fee and all that jazz. It's a 600-day wait. It'll take a year and a half to get a tourist visa in Colombia to come to America. But her K1 visa, once it gets to the embassy, it's going to take me probably 6 to 8 weeks to schedule the visa interview. Okay, there's a big difference between coming to America permanently as a permanent resident than coming here as a tourist. Apparently, you know, lots of people around the world are abusing the tourist visa. They're coming to America on a tourist visa, then they're marrying somebody, and then they're adjusting the status, bypassing the K1 visa process. Okay, so the State Department said, okay, we can fix that. We'll just quit issuing tourist visas. You know, America, the U.S. government is not happy with folks that try to jump through or bypass the system or take shortcuts. Karina could have got asylum as a Venezuelan citizen. Did we apply for asylum? No, it's ridiculous. This asylum is ridiculous. She got asylum in Colombia, right? She's in Colombia. The Colombian government gave her safe haven. Why would she want to apply for asylum again? We went through the K1 visa process properly. We did it the right way. She got her NOA2 letter. I already sent it to her. Okay, now we're just waiting for the MVC. It's no problem. LK, hello. Did you say it takes up to 90 days for MVC letter? Yes, that's correct. Because I checked mine previously and they said they haven't received yet. NOA2, April 11th. LK, you're too early. NOA2, April 11th. So April to May, May to June, June. So July 11th. So the middle of July is when you should be hearing from the National Visa Center, LK. Andrew, I received my NOA2 on April 6th, 2023. Great job. Now waiting for the MVC. Yep, Andrew, no problem. Us too. No problem. So 90 days. So April 6th, April to May. So like July, somewhere in July, first week of July. Denise, Diego, me and my fiance are trading notes regularly as we go, as we are so worried about the age difference. What is it? Why is it that you and Karina have zero nerves about the face-to-face? Also, is it Karina or Karina? Karina with a K. Denise Jefferson is Karina. We are not nervous about this process, Denise, because we qualify for the visa benefit, okay? The age difference is not a blocker for immigration. My first wife was 22 years or 25 years younger than me, 22 years, okay? But, you know, immigrate, and Karina is you know, in the same, she's the same. Age difference is unimportant with immigration. Immigration don't care as long as you're legal. You are consenting adults, 18 or older, legally free and able to marry. That's what the congressional law says, right? Legally free and able to marry. The age is not important. I made a video about age difference and its applications and implications in a K1 visa. So you got to relax, guys. If you have a 20-year age gap on your beneficiary or your sponsor, great, congratulations. You guys love you got all this evidence showing you guys love each other and you're going to be together forever. That's all immigration care about. They don't care about your age. It's not, and it's none of their business, honestly. Let's see. So relax, Denise. You be fine. Don't stress this, okay? Don't let immigrations live in your head, giving you all this negativity. Get rid of it. You qualify for the benefit. You're both legally able to marry each other. You're both of consensual age. You're good. Lausanne Alashi. How long does it take to get a K1 interview at the U.S. Embassy in Jordan? 2 to 4 months in Jordan. Beautiful Jordan. Beautiful country. Jordan is a beautiful country. And the embassy's not overly busy there. So you shouldn't have a problem. It shouldn't be a long wait for you guys. Daniela James. Hey, Diego, I'm still gathering my documents as I wait for my welcome letter. And I'm nervous. Why are you nervous, Daniela? If you're leaving anything out, leaving any evidence out. Okay, so what documents do you need for the embassy interview? Okay, what documents do you need? I'm going to make a video about that. So I will make a video tomorrow about what documents do you need for the visa embassy interview. I'll publish it tomorrow, and then you can watch the video, and you'll have all the answers, and then you won't be nervous anymore. Jason, I saved my fiance's name on WhatsApp chats as my beautiful wife. Hope that won't be a red flag. Okay, change that. Don't do that anymore. I did the same thing, okay, and my visa got approved. Immigration are very intelligent. They're very smart people. You know, they're all college degreed up, so they can figure out whether you got married to your beneficiary or not. And they know that it was words of love and endearment. But don't do it anymore, okay? Because, you know, there's some countries, you know, like in India, that could be a problem. And I'm not picking on India, okay? But there's folks in India have an engagement party, include the pictures in their K1 visa package, and get problems because the immigration officer thinks they got married, okay? So Jason, you're going to be okay with it. You'll be okay. I just got through that too, but you got to not continue to do that. And I would have your beneficiary write a letter or get a letter of singleness, just in case it comes up at the visa interview. You know, Karina will have a singleness letter for the visa interview in Bogota, just in case that question comes up. Antonio, a carta de soltera or singleness letter. Antonio, does the income requirement go up when there is a kid involved on the application? Yeah. Antonio, the more mouths you got to feed, the more money you got to make. So if your family size grows from 2 to 3, then you got to make more money. And it's about $40,000 per kid, more. Denise Jefferson, have you heard that they are more critical when the woman is older and or unable to conceive? No, Denise. Immigration don't care how old the woman is or how old the man is. They don't care. It's not their business. Their business is, are you both legally able to marry each other? Okay, number one. Whether the young lady or the middle-aged lady or the whatever lady cannot have a baby, that has got nothing to do with immigration. They don't even know that. They have no clue. Unless you tell them. If you tell them, they'll know. If you don't tell them, they won't know. It's none of their business. The age gap's no problem. Trust me. When you get through all this and your beneficiary comes to America, you'll get married. Don't forget this conversation. Nick Palomo, naturally, we will try to get the adjustment of status within 90 days, like you recommend. Oh, yeah. But what is the actual deadline to adjust? Once you get married, there's no deadline to adjust. Okay? There's no deadline. But you got my recommendation. If you want to get your green card without any problems, without any face-to-face visa interviews, get the adjustment of status done before the I-94 times out, which is 90 days. Get it all done in 90 days. That will save you so much headaches. No, not so much headaches, but it will save you, in my opinion, having another visa interview, getting your green card a lot quicker, getting your Social Security card a lot quicker. You want to get the green card in your hand. Okay? Don't be lazy. Flojo. Don't be flojo. Linda Gibbs. Hi, Diego. Just wanted to check in. Hey, Linda. Nice to see you here. I really thank you and appreciate all the help you have given. You have really been a blessing to me and my fiance. Glad to hear it, Linda. And soon you're going to get through all this and you're going to be married and starting your lives together. And you know, I'm not going to quit the channel when Karina gets here. I'm going to keep the channel going for you guys who are still in the pipeline. Who is, I, it's important. It's important. It's important. Let's see. So Susie says, I'm older than my fiance and we get our visa approved. So don't worry. Susie Goldemas just explained to Denise the age gap is irrelevant. Good job, Susie. Linda Gibbs, my fiance, and I have a big age difference too, but we are not worried because we are so much in love and it shows. So people don't worry. Love wins. There you go. Thank you, Diego and Karina. Stay blessed. Or blessings to you guys too. Jason, now listen up. My friend is a doctor, okay? He's a doctor. And he met a lady from Colombia. Now we're going back to like 2010 now, 2012. I had lunch with this doctor friend of mine. And sitting at the table in this Greek restaurant in Fort Walton Beach in Okaloosa County was this beautiful young lady. Now my doctor friend back then was 65 years old. And this beautiful young lady was 27 years old. Okay, what's that age gap right there? 30 plus years, right? And I didn't speak Spanish back then. I had no clue how to speak Spanish. And he told me, let me introduce you to this young lady. I said, hey, how you doing? She didn't speak English. And then he told me that she was his wife and they just got married on a K-1 visa. I said, seriously? I said, well, aren't you like 30 years older than her? I was being the typical, stereotypical idiot, right? And he started laughing. He said, oh, you're just jealous, Diego. I said, no, I am. And he was the person that basically showed me how to get into this idea to marry a foreign national. Okay. And they're still happily married and they got 2 kids. Okay. He started a family at 65 years old with a 27-year-old. And that was 12 years ago. And they got 2 kids. And now they live in California. Age difference is irrelevant. Jason Mabry, she did have proof of no marriage notarized. There you go. Perfect. But I'm save her as husband in her chats. Okay. But you got to change that. Don't be chatting back and forth as husband and wife anymore. Okay. I know I know that you want to do that because it's normal, in the Latino culture, it's normal. Karina calls me her husband because in Latino culture, it's normal. She considers me her husband already. All right. So, but don't put that in your chats anymore. Okay. Denise Jefferson. Oh, Susie, I will not ask you the difference here, but that is super duper encouraging. There you go, Denise. And then Susie's sister Goldeman says, you are so right, Diego. I've got a 99% rightness on this channel. I only think I make a mistake at 1% of the time, and then I correct it right away. Let's see. Vishal Goyal. Hi, Diego. Got my NOA 2, June 7th. How long do you think it's going to take until the visa is approved? Well, your visa just got approved in the NOA 2 on June 7th. Then it goes to the MVC in New Hampshire, 3 months there. So June, July, September, October, November, December. So probably by December or January of next year. Kaiser H, how are you? Back with some more questions for me. And Nick Palomo. Woo, super chat, Nick. Thank you, Nick Palomo. And I appreciate that very much. Karina and you guys, I tell you what, I should be out here selling houses, but no, I'm going to help you guys instead. And these super chats really are appreciated. So thank you, Nick. Thank you, Denise, and everybody. Yeah, you guys are great. Let me see. Don't want to miss a question now. So Vishal Goyal, it's going to take another 3, 4, 5 months to get this all wrapped up, okay? Kaiser H, Diego, when I send the form I-134, then should I just send the tax transcripts or my W-2s and my 1040s would be fine. And for how many years do you recommend? Okay, Kaiser H, get 3 years worth of tax transcripts, 1040s, W-2s, 1099s. Create 3 separate folders and identify each folder by the year. In the bedroom back there, I've got my tax transcripts for 2020 and 2021. Don't have 2022 yet. I got my 1040s for 2020, 2021, 2022. I've made a copy of my bank statement where the IRS cashed my check when I paid my taxes for 2022. They cashed my check and it said in my bank statement, IRS, Internal Revenue Service, reached into my pocket and took all my money and threw it into the Treasury Department. So I got proof of paying my taxes and all that jazz. So 3 years worth. Put them in 3 separate folders and get them to your beneficiary. And I'm pretty sure that USCIS, the consular officer, is only going to ask for your last tax return, the last one. That's it. But be ready in case they ask for 2 or 3 years. Okay, be ready. You never know with these folks. Daggy, happy Saturday, Diego. Hey, Daggy, how are you, Daggy? Nick Palomo, you've been very helpful. Well, Nick, if I've saved you about $4,000 in immigration attorney fees, then it's been beneficial to me that I've helped you save all that money, which you can use and spend on your beautiful fiance, right? And thanks for that super chat. That is very generous. And Karina and I will we're going to go out to eat. Every time we get a super chat, Karina and I will plan a different restaurant and we'll celebrate in your name. And that will be in Colombia. Daggy, can you please let us know when you request the 2023 tax transcript? Daggy, yeah. I'm going to apply for my 2022 tax transcript, not 2023. I haven't filed my 2023 taxes yet. I will do in January of 2024. But when I apply for the tax transcript for my 2022 taxes, I'll do that in July, and then I'll tell you when I do it, okay? And I'll tell you how long it takes. Nohemi Gomez Garcia. Hi, Diego. Hola. Thanks for your information. God bless you. I'm waiting for my NOA 1, May 4th, 2022. I'm very excited for that moment. Noemi, you are right close to the finish line. You are muy cerca. Okay, muy cerca. Not much longer, and you'll get your NOA 2 letter. Okay, I promise you. Jason says I will have her change it to Pappy. I will change her name to mi princess. Okay, mi princesa. Okay, no problem, Jason. Yeah, Daggy, I got you on 2022. Denise, thank you, Linda and Susie. It's nice to know that our situation is not unique. Denise, today on an airplane somewhere around the world, an American citizen, brought his beneficiary to the United States to get married today. And they were 20 years apart in age, 25 years apart, 15 years apart, 10 years apart. Age is irrelevant. Evidence that you guys are in a real relationship is important. No evidence, no visa. Ton of evidence, visas, boom, done. You're good. Come on, guys. Hit me with some more questions. I've been talking for 1 hour and 13 minutes, and Denise has learned a lot of stuff. Nick's learning new stuff, and I'm here to help you guys. You got to remember, it's not easy. It's a difficult process if you've never done it before. Okay, I've done this before. I went through a K-1 visa with my first wife. It didn't work out. Then she decided she wanted to come back to America. When she left America, she wanted to come back. So I filed for the spousal visa. Then she changed her mind again. I don't want to come to America. I want to live here. Okay. Then I had to file for a divorce while in her home country. Do you know how difficult that is? It was not easy, I tell you, But so I went through the K-1, then I went through the CL-1 spousal. Didn't work out. Okay. Life goes on, guys. Don't be a victim. Be a winner. Never be a victim. And beautiful Karina is soon to be my wife. I already consider my wife. She's already belongs to me, and I belong to her. Lausanne Alashi, will I need a joint sponsor? Lausanne, it depends on what your income is and the family size. Denise, my fiance is from Nigeria, and a simple process of sending him a package takes an act of Congress. Understood, Denise. I sent a package in January and just received a big package from our government in June warning me that I could be a victim of a scam. So there you go. The government, once again, sticking their nose into your business. Denise, it got intercepted and he never received it. This is why we're so worried, as the stigma alone has been a barrier to our relationship. No, your age gap is good, Janice. We're going to pray for you. Okay, you're going to be just fine. And I'm sorry that the U.S. government decided to intercept your package. Okay, that's insane. You had your address on it, return address, your name. You had his name on it, an address, and the U.S. government decided to do what they do best at. Stick their nose in your business. And I'm sorry that happened. But like I said, also, elections have consequences, right? We vote people in, and this is what happens. But hopefully things will be better, and they will be better. Things will be better for everybody in the future. Just go day by day. Yesterday's already gone. Forget about it. Yesterday's, see you later, yesterday. Tomorrow's not even here. So why worry about tomorrow? Don't worry about tomorrow. It's not even here. Just worry about today. Okay? And then don't even worry about today. Enjoy your day, enjoy your life, be happy, smile, don't stress anything, and just believe that Diego says you're going to get your K1 visa, you're going to get your K1 visa. Okay? Everything's going to be fine. Don't stress it. Bud Garcia, have a good night, Diego, and God bless. Buenas noches, Bud, and God bless you. Okay, guys, come on, hit me with some more questions. I'm going to talk for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and then I'm going to go make something to eat. And then I'm going to go, then Karina is going to call me from Bogota on her WhatsApp phone, and we're going to chat, and she's going to tell me all about her day. And then I'm going to tell her about all of the beautiful super chats we got for our lunch dates together. You guys are going to be funding our lunch dates when I fly back to Colombia. And when I go back to Colombia, okay, to finish up this visa with Karina, I'm going to keep processing the videos and showing you exactly how I'm doing this. So that way you can learn from it, okay? Can I speed up the visa process? No. Can an immigration attorney speed up the process? No. Can a visa company, speed up the process? No, they cannot. The only person that can speed up the process is immigration. And they're not speeding up the process as fast as you want, but they're getting better. A year ago, it was taking 2 years to get a visa, just the NOA2 letter. But now it's getting wrapped up in 12 or 13 months. Lausanne, I only started working in the U.S. in August 2022. So when I filed for 2022 taxes, that was only for this period. Currently, I'm working as a resident doctor. Very good. Do you think I will need a joint sponsor? What I would do, Lausanne, if you're making that kind of money and your family size, what's your family size? I think what I would do is write a letter of explanation, okay? Write a letter of explanation and say, this is how much money I make now, and this is how much I made then, and that's the reason for just like you put in the post here. Just explain it, sign it, and date the letter, and you will be perfectly fine. But you got to prove evidence of your income, okay? Prove income, tax pay stubs. Get a letter from your employer. Okay, so you are a resident doctor. Then you need to get a letter from the hospital or wherever it is you work as a doctor and have them write a letter and say that Dr. Lausanne Alashi works here and blah, blah, blah. And you'll be fine. Only me and my fiance when he comes. So you're a family of two. So you're fine. You'll be perfectly fine, Lausanne. You don't need a joint sponsor. But get a letter from the employer saying how much you make and what your position is, etc. So that just took a bunch of weight off your mind, right? You're good, Lozanne. You're good. Jason, should we write a letter explaining the husband wife on our previous WhatsApp chat? No, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Don't give immigration a reason to look at your stuff, your chats. Okay? They maybe they're busy that day and they just get it and ship it out. Don't tell them. Don't do that. Okay? Let them tell you. If they don't tell you, don't worry about it. Lozanne, got it. Thank you, Diego. Such a relief. You're good, Lozanne. Just get a letter from the hospital identifying who you are and how much you make, and get some pay stubs, get some bank statements that shows the direct deposits, however it is you get paid. I don't know. And you're good. And you will be perfectly fine. And Jason, please don't write to immigration and point out to them that information. Okay? Don't make it easy for them. Okay? They're too busy even more to worry about it. But just get the letter of singleness ready in case it comes up. Said, can you qualify for a K-1 if you only have Social Security check income? Said, if it depends on how much that money is. You can qualify for a K-1 for a family of 2 on Social Security if the Social Security check income is equal to or exceeds 125% of the minimum federal income requirements for a family of 2. If it doesn't, use your assets. Okay? And also and I would recommend a joint sponsor. Denise, Diego, did you say that the original letters of intent marriage should have been original signatures? Yes. My beneficiary too scanned his to me. How do they expect us to know these things when filing? Well, immigration doesn't make this job easy for you, okay? And a lot of people learn they learn the hard way on how to get through this process. So we now have this YouTube channel for you guys to help get you through it, okay? But I think because of the country and because it's so difficult to get mail, and you have evidence of that mail being intercepted by the U.S. government, you can say, that he mailed you his original letter of intent to get married, but it never showed up, and you have a feeling it was intercepted, and then you have your other copy to back you up. So in your case, you'll be fine. Okay. April Flower, will the poverty guideline be increasing for K-1 visa? In March of 2024 is when they adjust the poverty guideline. So the poverty guidelines for K-1 visas will not be adjusted until March of 2024. So we're in June of 2023. So still a long way to go before they increase it. Okay, if they increase it. It all depends on the inflation in the United States. Inflation drives Social Security checks, military retirement checks, the price of goods and services. When the government keeps printing more money and spending more money, it drives up inflation, which then makes it harder for folks to buy groceries and things like that, which then means that you get a raise on your Social Security, your, whatever. So the federal poverty guidelines will be adjusted in March of 2024. That's when you're going to get the new numbers. Jason, the way they did the proof of singleness in Ghana was using her family as a signed witness. Makes me wonder about that document. No, that's fine. Jason, no, that's perfectly good. Kaiser H. Diego, when I write the updated second letter of intent to get married, then what should I mail it? Then should I mail it to my beneficiary? And what do you recommend that I include in that second letter? Well, you got to make sure that you include in there that you are still single and free to get married, that you promise to marry your beautiful soon-to-be wife in 90 days when she gets to America, that you are a U.S. citizen. Diego, here's my example. Diego, I'm a U.S. citizen. Karina and I have been together for almost 3 years. We are still madly in love with each other. We are still going to get married within 90 days. I am still legally free and able to marry Karina, and nothing's changed. And we've continued our relationship, and that's it. Boom, you're going to be fine. But you address it The second letter of intent to get married, you address it to the U.S. Embassy, not to USCIS. USCIS is done with you. National Visa Center is done with you. Now the embassy is in charge. So you write the letter of intent to get married. The second one, both of you, sponsor and beneficiary, you address it to the visa section, U.S. Embassy, in our case, Bogota, Colombia. Let me see. Marcos Rocha. Hey, Diego, assuming we get approved at the interview, how long from that day can we travel to the U.S.? Well, you got 6 months from the date of the medical exam to use the K-1 visa. So 6 months. So if you had so everything revolves around the date of the medical exam. Okay. The K-1 visa clock will start the date of the medical exam. So you got 6 months from the date of the medical exam to use the K-1 visa. Denise Jefferson, Diego, if the wrong person was to get in power and introduce a ban, do you believe that they can stop pending applications? No. Congressional law will not allow that. Okay. Pending applications continue. The immigration, U.S. Congress will not do that. Okay. Marcus Rocha, people, please don't forget to press the like button. Thanks, Marcos. April Flower, thank you. Is the embassy of Abu Dhabi processing K-1 visa interviews? Yes, they are. How long does it take? 2 to 4 months, approximately. April Flower, they are. Abu Dhabi, good, beautiful. Huda, hi Diego. When we filed for K-1 visa, we already sent them a letter of intent to get married. Good. Since now we got approved and we're waiting for the MVC letter, should we also write another letter of intent to get married? Yes. Huda, write second letters of intent to get married and date them about 2 weeks before the visa interview. So when you know the date of your visa interview, that's when you're going to, 2 weeks before, that's when you date the letter and rewrite the letters of intent to get married, but this time address it to the U.S. Embassy or consulate, okay? And yeah, and that just reaffirms to immigration that you didn't get married during the process. There's a lot of people, guys, that get so tired of waiting for this K-1 visa that they get on a plane and they go to their beneficiary's country and get married. And then, and these people didn't realize that if they got married, their K-1 visa gets terminated. Okay. So there's a lot of people going to K-1 visa interviews in embassies around the world. And the immigration officer says, so you're still single and legally free to get married, right? And the person says, no, we got married 2 weeks ago. Guess what? They don't get their visa. It gets terminated. Then they got to apply for a spousal visa. Okay. So I try to, and so immigration put in place a process where they make you write a second letter of intent to get married, where you must put in writing that you are legally free and able to marry, that you promise to do so in 90 days, and you are a U.S. citizen. Boom. They make you put it in writing. And the U.S. Embassy in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, they make you sign a letter of singleness in front of the consular officer. Seriously. You go to the embassy K-1 visa interview, and the first thing they make you do is sign a letter of singleness. I'm serious. That's how people just don't realize how serious it is. If you get married during the K-1 visa process, you're done. It's over. You have to start over from the beginning with a spousal visa. Epo97. Hey, Epo97. Jason, my fiance is watching from Ghana, beautiful Ghana, and wanted to remind you that a Ghanaian dish is still something she wants to do for you for all your help. Jason, we would love to eat some Ghanaian food, but first let's get her to America, okay? We'll get you married and get everything going, get your life together going in America, and then she can make us a Ghanaian dish, okay? Marcus Rocha, can we come to the U.S. the next day after the interview approval? Well, if you have her passport and the K-1 visa, sure. You got to have the passport and the K-1 visa in the passport. You can't leave America without it. So if you go to the visa interview and you turn in the visa, the passport, and they give it back to you the same day, you can leave the next morning. Denise, Diego, my beneficiary's neighbor filed for spousal. Okay, good. Okay. He decided that he could not get a timely interview from the embassy in Nigeria and somehow moved it someplace else in Africa. Is it possible? Well, when you file for the K1 visa or the spousal visa, you have to put on page 3, I believe it is, where you want to have the consular interview for your beneficiary. Which country, which embassy? And that's where you decide. But the beneficiary has to be a resident of that country. Okay? Now, Karina is from Venezuela. She's Venezuelan, right? Everybody knows that. But in order for me to, and then we don't have any political ties or any embassy operating in Venezuela. So the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, graciously allowed Karina to use the embassy for her visa interview. But secondly, Karina is a legal resident of Bogota, Colombia. She's a legal resident of Colombia. She has a cedula for Colombia. So in order to change embassies, the beneficiary has to be a legal resident of that country, unless there's a political issue involved. So if you wanted to, if Nigeria is a slow wait, Lagos embassy in Lagos is a slow wait, and you want to go to, let's say, South Africa, the consulate in South Africa, then the beneficiary has to be a legal resident of South Africa and has to prove it, with an ID card or something. My NOA1, EPO 97, my NOA1, 7/28/22. Okay, so next month, okay, EPO, next month you'll get your NOA2. April Flower, thank you so much for answering my question. No problem. How long do you think it takes to get an interview Abu Dhabi? 2 to 4 months, right in there. James Wan, what's to stop us from getting married after we get the K1 visa, then fly to the USA? Well, the only thing that would stop you, once you get to America and you guys get married, the only thing that will stop you flying back to the home country would be the advance parole document. Because if you get married in America within 90 days and then fly back to your beneficiary's home country without an advance parole document, your fiance is thus considered abandoning her green card. It's considered being abandoned. Okay? An abandoned green card means she cannot return back to the United States. You'd have to refile the K1 visa all over again. So if you want to leave America and go back to the beneficiary's home country, you got to first apply for an advance parole document to travel. And it's Form I-131. All right? You got to apply for Form I-131. And it's a lot of money. It's expensive. Okay? That will be the only thing to stop you. Let me see. Minesh Patel. Hi, Diego. When we got NOA2, can my beneficiary apply for a police certificate? Yeah. While waiting for the case number. Sure. Do it. Do it now. When you get the NOA2, Karina is going to get her police certificate for Colombia. Probably we'll wait for the welcome letter from the MVC. We're just going to wait for the welcome letter from the MVC. And because it only takes 5 minutes for Karina to get a police certificate from Colombia. I got her a laptop computer. She logs into the laptop, puts in her cedula number, pops up the police certificate, and prints it. That's easy. But each country's different. Getting a police certificate from Hong Kong might take 2 or 3 months. So if you're a Filipino that worked in Hong Kong and you need a police certificate from Hong Kong, okay, the Hong Kong government won't send it to the beneficiary. They'll send it to the embassy. So it's a little bit more complicated in getting a police certificate from Hong Kong. And I made a video about that. Huda, Diego, does my fiance have to take the letter of intent to get married to the interview? Yes. Yes, Huda, yes. The original one. Plus the I-134, signed, black ink. Come on, you got this, Huda. You can do it. Marcus Rocha, Diego, I'm still waiting for my bachelor party invite. Well, I'm not going to have a bachelor party, Marcus. I am not going to do that. I'm going to have a big wedding night party, a big party on the beach here in Santa Rosa County. Kaiser H, Diego, you said that I should send 3 years worth of tax transcripts, W-2s, 1040s, and would this also apply to my bank statements? No. Pay stubs? No. Only taxes. Your pay stubs, get 6 months worth of pay stubs and 12 months worth of bank statements. Whiteout, use a whiteout, use one of these things right here. I don't know if I got one here. Get one of these things right here and white out your bank account numbers. Immigration doesn't need to know what your account number is. White it out and then highlight where you get paid every 2 weeks or whatever, the direct deposits, and it get 12 months worth of bank statements, 6 months worth of pay stubs, and 3 years worth of tax transcripts, tax forms, etc. I hope I got you right there, right? You understand that? Huda, haha, yeah, Huda, yeah, there's no bachelor party. Come on, man. We're not doing that. April Flower, hi, Huda, are you from Iraq? I am asking that question because I was wondering if the embassy in Iraq is accepting K1 interviews. April Flower, the U.S. Embassy in Iraq, in Baghdad, beautiful Iraq. We love our friends in Iraq. The U.S. Embassy is conducting K1 visa interviews in Baghdad, in Iraq. Our friends in Iraq, we say hi to you guys. Jason Mabry, what is the current cost of an adjustment of status green card? Well, I am not going to put that out until I know what it is exactly because it's going to change. So I'm going to make a video about it. But I would say $2,000 a person, $2,000 for the beneficiary, $2,000 for the K1, for the K2. And if you got 2 kids, that's another $2,000. That's just an estimate, okay? But be patient. I'll make the video about it. James Wan, sorry, I meant to ask if it is okay if after we do the interview at the embassy and get the K1 visa, would it be bad to get married in the foreign country and go to the USA? Don't do that, James Wan. If you get married after the K1 visa gets approved and is put in her visa, and you get married in her home country, you will be denied entry. Well, you won't, the American citizen won't, but your fiance, now your wife, will be denied entry into the USA because you are in violation of the K1 visa. The K1 visa is a visa for a single person to enter America for 90 days to get married, not a married person. So, Jason, I'm going to say this to you real firmly, like I'm back in the Navy, okay? I'm putting on my Navy hat. Do not marry your beneficiary in her home country after she gets her visa, because that visa will then become irrelevant and null and void. You got it? Don't do that. When you enter America with your fiance, she is single, okay? Marcus Rocha, I understand. No bachelor party here either. Good job. My wife-to-be is Venezuelan as well. There you go. You like your life, right? You like to be living. You don't want to, you don't want to get beat up, right? Don't have a bachelor party. Have respect. Karina is Venezuelan. I have no interest in a bachelor party. Zero. Okay. The only thing on my mind is getting Karina to America so we can get married and start our lives together. That's what I want to do. So, James Wan, don't you marry that young lady after she gets her K1 visa. I know you want her family to be at your wedding in her home country, but this is a process where you can't do that. You cannot do that. Have a big engagement party instead, okay? But don't get married. And Marcus Rocha. So we picked some really good picks, didn't we? Venezuelan ladies are so good-hearted. They got such a good heart and strong and mentally acute, intelligent, hardworking. I tell you, we picked them good. Huda, April Flower, I'm from Lebanon. So Huda's from Lebanon. Beautiful Lebanon on the Mediterranean Sea. Beautiful. Lebanon's a beautiful country. April Flower, thank you for answering my questions, Diego. Thank you so much, Huda. No problem. April Flower. And April, if you're from Iraq, give my best to all your family in Iraq. We love our friends in Iraq, okay? Denise Jefferson, Diego, have you let the cat out of the bag that the woman is in charge in America? Please be advised that we are planning a virtual bachelorette party for Karina. Okay, well, you can have a bachelorette party for Karina, okay? You go. That would be a fun time. That would be great. That's a great idea. And Karina will be running the house. She's in charge. Karina is the boss. Karina is my jefe. James Wan, yes, sir, thanks. Glad to hear it. Don't mess up your entire visa process because by getting married in your in your beneficiary's home country. That's a big disaster. Don't do that. Immigration are like the Borg from Star Trek. They have no feelings and emotion. They're the Borg, okay? If you don't qualify for the visa, they block you, okay? If you mess up and do something like that, they block you. They're like the Borg. There's no emotion. Marcus Rocha, it's decided we'll chat and plan off camera. Super excited. There you go. Okay, guys, thank you everybody for the super chats. I love you guys for those super chats. Karina and I will definitely enjoy Dunkin' Donuts in Bogota, and there's also another restaurant that she wants to try, a Peruvian restaurant, and so that all those super chats will go towards feeding us on our next when I go pick up Karina from Colombia. And Jason has one last question. Another steak. My fiance was thinking about an engagement ceremony for her family when I come to bring her back to the USA. It's a sign of marriage in Ghana culture, but not legally married. Be okay. Jason, you can do that, but do not include any of those pictures. If you take pictures at this event, do not put them in your adjustment of status paperwork. Do not tell anybody about this event but your family. Okay? It doesn't happen except within your family unit. Okay, Jason? You got it? Don't you understand what I'm saying? Kaiser H, thank you, Diego. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. And I will see you if you're going to be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning, which is Central Time, U.S. time. See you guys. Denise, see you later. Denise, relax. When you go to bed tonight, put your head on a pillow, relax. You're good. You are perfectly fine.